Hey, what's up? This is Sane. I'm doing a Let's Play walkthrough of the first tree, and I got a new microphone stand, so my commentary should sound a lot better this time. I love what I do, it's just I didn't have enough money back then to get certain equipments, but now I do. So, we're gonna continue our 100% playthrough of this game, which I did not 100% this game. In this level, we're gonna get obsidian rocks, which are needed to unlock the next level. We're also going to get a total of 50 stars. We have 60, no, a total of 40 stars. We have 60, and it'd be a grand total of 100 stars. And we're going to be getting 5 dig spots and 1 hidden spot. This level's a little big, but it's actually, the collectibles are pretty laid out in a way where it's easy to find. The last set of collectibles are kind of hard to get because if you mess up, you have to wiggle your way up the cliff. Because if you noticed in the chapter 2, you can kind of cheat with the game's mechanics if you spin around your jump. So we're gonna say continue, and we'll keep going. And remember, there's no save points in between. You have to do it in a way where you complete the level and then there's a save. So keep that in mind. Before you watch any walkthrough, you should play this yourself, like I did. So our main objective is to go there. There's probably gonna be some music playing in a second, I hope. There's 3 stars here. And if there's not, I guess I could see if my music layers are on. Um, Back to game. I mean, there should be music playing. Okay, I'm gonna go back out because I think I've tampered with the music. Really sorry about that, or maybe the game is not programmed for that sort of thing. I'm gonna go back to options. There is no setting for music. Interesting. Okay. I guess I'll just say back. Alright then, if the game doesn't do music, I'm sorry. The game just is not uh it's not greatly programmed. I should start playing music, some piano music right in the beginning. So it's not less such a boring experience. I think we have to collect the stars again. There's no saves. Okay. Now we usually have to go towards that beam of light, but there's going to be collectibles on the left and right side. Left side there's going to be a sort of cave type, rocky type structure.
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I loved sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
So that was very beautiful, and now we're gonna go to the left side. So the stars are usually in places where they're kind of visible. There's a lonely star here. Star. First lonely star. There's a few stars over here. So this is kind of built in a way where you have to maximize your jump, like boom, 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 and then boom, you see. And then we could look back to see if we got everything, okay. That beam of light was the way back. There should be another beam of light here, pointing towards, yeah, you see down there? It's this very short beam of light. And that's our next excavation site with some commentary. Our next obsidian rock is over there, where that big beam of light is.
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real. Growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but you know, I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
I guess. Or diving into a world in someone else's story, someone else's mind, someone else's imagination, someone else's world. And we're trying to live in their experiences. We may not understand, but we're here. And there's a tent here. This must be the tent where they were talking before. So I think this is just like a big old dream world with different small little memories here and there. Okay, so I cheated that. Normally you have to climb up these rocks. Portal 71. Oh, this camera sensitivity, I'm gonna change it. Much better. I wonder if the invert Y changes horizontal and vertical axes. This is Speedman Rob. So what you do here is you have to press B as soon as it goes like that. You see what I did? You see how I perfectly timed it? It's a perfectly timed press of the B button as soon as it goes down. You have like half a second to react. So if your reaction time is not on point, that's a great time to practice. And then you'll get better, and you'll get faster. And the only way to learn is to practice. And if you give up, then you'll never get better. Try not to get wedged in between those things. I don't think you'll be able to get out. Maybe you can. So I think that's all the collectibles in this area. Maybe there's like one more somewhere here. I'm gonna try to find it. If you do jump, you can actually see glares like the sun. You missed any of the collectibles. There's a portrait here. Well, you see how there's stars over there? Shining through the trees there? You see that? Like a little blink of light. The sun is purple, apparently, through the trees. So we're gonna just do another bypass here to see if we missed anything. I don't think I did. I don't think we did. Or I did, and you're watching. See if we missed anything. So we know what the grand total is. It's 100. And we have something. And we can't check it until we collect another set. Okay, so there's a set of stars over there because we can see them shining through the bushes. Okay. "74 stars. Okay, so there is something on top of the hill. We're gonna get this.
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
Nice. You guys bonded and had a lot of stuff in common. That's kind of rare with parents. And bonding with your child is the best thing ever. There should be a secret hidden spot over here. You can probably tell where it is. If I didn't miss it already. I think it's right here.
My dad only had a few mementos in the house from his time in the army. One was an old photo of his platoon, and the other was a pair of framed certificates. I like to think he kept those things so he would always remember the people he served with, and remember he kept his honor. In his mind, every other memory wasn't necessary.
Well, that's good, right? Looks like there's 2 stars over there. And we're gonna get those 2 stars. There should be not really a cave, because if you look up, it's not a cave. It's some sort of rocky area. It looks like some area from The Land Before Time, a show I used to watch when I was younger. So we're gonna call this the dinosaur area. And if you follow this path along, you should encounter a lot of stars. Try not to miss anything in the crevasses. So we're gonna keep going here. I think there's gonna be an obsidian rock here. You probably hear it already if you have headphones and see it on the right side there. Should be the last obsidian rock. Now you probably heard some branches and stuff getting like torn apart. That was the branches that were torn apart in the background, right around this mountain here. Now we're gonna try to find a way around, and the only way to do that is to retrace our steps. But I think there's gonna be a shortcut through here. Alright, so there's gonna be another dig spot to the right with some stars. This is where I broke the level. I went up there. And I fell off the world. Don't do that. Especially during your collectible run, which I'm doing. And my Let's Play at the same time.
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes, the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. But then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
Yep, I did too. And I'm just a young adult. It's very interesting. They're saying that there's something over there, even though I collected that over there. Very strange. I think it tracks all the obsidian rocks even if you collected them already. So I think the beams of light should go away. Not to confuse the player. You see all the obsidian rocks are there, you see. I'm gonna go over here because I've never been to this part of the map. There's a tomb here. Path is clear. There's a big bright blue tree there. The Tree of Hope, the first tree. It's the name still on the other side. So you can get the achievement anytime here. Okay, stars have spawned here. There should be one over here. Oh, I guess you can't go underneath. There's gigantic collision boxes here, so... Oh no, I didn't check how much I had left. In total, there should be 100 stars. I think we got 91 or 92. Now we're gonna do a little trick here. So we can see any shining stars. So I feel like I missed one over there somewhere. I'm facing the camera. I think I'm good, and even if I did miss one, I can always go back. But I think I got everything.
The perpetrator stood nearby, unfazed, like nothing was wrong. My dad is dead, and he's never coming back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that we'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
This is where the game is bad. If you fall back down, you can take this path up there, around up again. I think we got all the stars, actually. 97 means we got all the stars. The next set of 3 should be around here. Yeah, right there. 100 stars. Since I already played this game, I already got the 100-star achievement. And the dig spots are going to be... So we collected one in the valley onto the right, one nearby the tree, one all the way to the left, one here. There was 2 to the left. There was 2 to the left. Okay. And then there was another one by the tree and another one by all the way to the right at the level. And this is going to be the 5th and final one. So I'm Saint Legend, and that's the end of my Let's Play walkthrough for Chapter 3. And yeah. I'm gonna go a little bit longer here. So kind of a short level, not really. But I think we're pretty good. So we just gotta keep going here. And just keep doing it. So the final dig spot should be here. So for this level, the recap was 5 visible dig spots, 1 hidden secret, and 40 stars from 60 to 100, adding to 100. So there should be another 25 for each level, and a few more dig spots. My next level being my favorite.
I need to go to bed. I just can't talk about this anymore. Good night.
Good night. The moral of the story is don't let your past haunt you. And let your success always drive you forward in life. Feels like the guy who made this game was very passionate about his project. Even though it is a very lenient game, this is still his work, it's still his artwork. Usually when we play games we think about like Call of Duty or Halo or something like that, but this is a beautiful story and a beautiful world of his own imagination, and we gotta respect that. And I do, and I like it. So this is the dream sequence. We're gonna do this real quick. This is part of the next chapter.
Joseph, you can't go to sleep feeling like this. I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need space, but I'm here for you. You don't need to feel so lost. Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother was like?
Alright, so this is coming into the next level, actually. So I'm Zen the Legend. I'll see you on the next Let's Play walkthrough. And laters. See you on chapter 4.